complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. We both know what we want, let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want, let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So won't you let me trip, trip, trip with you? Leading on fire, leave us till tomorrow.
All right, let's try this again. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of AJAWI TV, where we discuss architecture and construction related topics. I'm your host, I'm AJAWI, and today my lovely co-host is Mrs. AJAWI. Right? If you can hear me, just comment in the comment section. Let me know if you're hearing, so that we can get tonight discussion on the way. This is a little bit unusual. I don't normally do lives on Saturdays, but you know, I still will be having our live tomorrow. But I thought I would come on and just basically, touch base with you guys before we do the live tomorrow, right? So, who is here? Comment in the comment section. I want to have a little short discussion with you guys, and the discussion is really around what are the concerns that you really have as a returning resident doing construction or looking to return to Jamaica. Are you even returning? Are you even considering returning to Jamaica? If you are going to return, what are the concerns that you have as a returning resident? Right? So thanks for coming in. Thanks for those that are with us tonight. I really want to say big up, because I have been missing. I've been missing for some time now, and it's for a good reason. It's always for a good reason that I'm missing. Sometimes I'm missing, right? I've actually been doing some testing of ideas and working on other things. Dr. D here. Oh, you just completed the survey. I want to say thanks to all those that have completed the survey. It really helps me, right? It really helps me because guess what? The survey is actually for my school, and it also is geared towards helping you. So throughout my studies, believe it or not, throughout my studies at the University of Technology, I have spent, you hear the rule behind me? Anne-Marie, big up yourself, welcome in the building. The survey, I'm going to copy the link right now and paste it in the chat so that you can, just take the survey now. I would really appreciate that because it is to help returning residents. What I'm trying to find out is what are the concerns that you have as a returning resident, right? So believe it or not, throughout my university life, what I have done is every single assignment I do, every single project I have always tailored it towards AJAWI Construction. So if I have an assignment, you'll see AJAWI Construction on it, and I use the opportunity to really fine-tune my business idea, right? So that's what I have been doing. So this particular assignment, I'm doing a course right now in entrepreneurship, and they're asking certain questions. So I just paste the link in the chat. You can just click the link and take the survey when you get an opportunity to, right? So yeah, I've tailored my university life towards developing this business, and the business is centered around helping returning residents return to Jamaica, build their dream home, retire, and do it safely, do construction safely. All right, that's what I have done throughout my university life. It's a little bit unorthodox, I think. I don't know, maybe it's not, but I didn't want to just go to school and pass through school, get a piece of paper and say, hey, I am there. I wanted to utilize the opportunity to test my ideas and to see what works from what doesn't work. And the survey is actually an opportunity for me to really understand what are the needs of returning residents. What do you really want when it comes on to construction, when it comes on to doing construction in Jamaica, returning home, what are the concerns that you have? Um, as it relates to like selecting contractors, as it relates to the people, as it relates to the landscape of Jamaica, what are the concerns that you have? And that's what the survey is all about. So for this live, I'm asking you, what are your concerns when you're returning to Jamaica? Is it really that you'll be scammed of your money? Is it you are probably overpriced for material or for service? Because there are contractors that will give you poor work and still charge you, or they charge you double for whatever it is that you're doing for them and still don't deliver. So what are those concerns that you may have? The live for tomorrow will be discussing that, right? But for today, this is kind of like a precursor to the live for tomorrow, because I didn't want to just jump on and just, break it to you guys like that. So that's pretty much that, right? It's geared towards persons living overseas. Yeah, the questions are geared towards people living overseas, right? So over the past couple of weeks, what I've been doing is I've been testing some ideas that I have. One particular idea, if you're on the if you're on Instagram or my LinkedIn page, you will see that I posted a video of a drawing that I created for a returning resident, right? And I made that drawing a smart drawing, right? So you can pick up your phone and there's a barcode on the drawing, and you just scan the barcode and you're now able to see the location of the property. I'm planning to take that a little bit further, so stay tuned for that, right? I have a lot of ideas as it relates to that particular direction or invention, if I can call it that, right? So stay tuned for that. And I've also been looking at other ways that I can offer better service to returning residents or offer things that they need, right? So that I do the drone survey and I do the site inspection and I prepare the drawings and I submit the drawings and get them approved for returning residents. But what are the other things that I can possibly do to make it a lot easier for you as a returning resident? All right. So that's what I've really been up to. And to be honest, sometimes I feel kind of, I wouldn't say burnt out, but not as much motivated to come on to do a live, because sometimes people don't necessarily honor the social contract on YouTube, which is when you come in, you just hit the like button and you leave a comment, right? Most of the times people don't really do that for whatever reason, and I'm not forcing it, but at least it's common courtesy, right? It does motivate us, because sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy to come on and talk. Really and truly, I'm talking to myself right now, because there's nobody in front of me having that conversation with, and I really rely on you. All right. So, question: what are the things that you are concerned about as a returning resident looking to return to Jamaica and to do your construction, right? My view, I presume that you would be concerned about scammers or people trying to scam you out of your money, right? I presume that. I may be wrong, but I think that that's probably one of the biggest concern that a returning resident will have. And I'll go as far as say sometimes returning residents are right to some extent in believing that people will scam them, because the way how the landscape of construction is, if you're not really dealing with somebody who is above the table, who is really honest and straightforward with you, you can lose a lot of money simply by people doing cheeky things during construction, or charging you simply because you don't know better, right? As a homeowner, I understand 100, 200, a million times that you are in uncharted waters when you're doing construction as a returning resident. You don't know what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to do it, and why you're supposed to do it. And I think that this has been capitalized on by contractors, right? So you're building something, and because they understand that you don't know certain things, they will do things that will increase your budget or get money out of you unnecessarily. You hear how the road are going behind me? But yeah, they will do things that will, get money out of you unnecessarily, simply because you don't know, right? You don't know. So I think that's probably another concern that I think you'll have, is that because of the uncertainty with construction, you don't necessarily feel comfortable, right? You don't necessarily feel comfortable. Not necessarily scammers in the known terms, but families giving overpriced material and labor cost, and then use substandard material and take forever to complete the work. Yeah, I agree totally. Normally people try to do substandard work, and I should know, right? I should know. I have been in a situation where the contractor knows, it's not that he don't know enough, he knows that the work is substandard, yet he wants to be paid in full for it. Right? He wants to be paid in full for it. And to add to that, if the client asks questions, it becomes a problem for the contractor. Let me tell you this straightforward. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions during your construction. You have to spend your money. That is the reality. Your money, you work hard for it. Ask questions. If it's a million questions you need to ask them. No question is stupid. Right? No question is stupid. Ask a question. Right? Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Alright? Ask the questions. You cannot be doing construction and you can't question a decision that somebody is making. It is wrong. Right? It is wrong. Ask questions, and if the person is not willing to answer these questions, there is a cause for concern. Additionally, make sure you have your contract in place so that if the contractor is not operating in a certain way, you can always let them go, and pay them up to the work that they have completed. Right? Up to the work that they have completed. Just because somebody starts your project doesn't mean that they are going to finish it, or they are going to be the person to finish it. Because sometimes, because the contractor is losing so much money, because if you have inspection going on your property, the moment you start seeing these issues and you start pointing them out and them have to double work, triple work, they are going to start losing money. right? And that means that they're going to try and find other ways to make back that money. So you go up on a site and you tell your contractor, say, hey, this wall is not supposed to be here, or this door is not supposed to be here. It is supposed to be at that position. Why is it at this position? And them have to knock it out and put it at the right position. They have not demolished a wall that is not at the right position, which means that they're going to have to find some way to pay for it. Right? So ask your questions. Don't be afraid. Also, you need to know where your building plan. You must have some idea, or even if you don't know your building plan, at least have somebody there that understands. All right. So the concerns that you have, usually, I encourage you to ask them to get them, resolved, because sometimes those concerns are what actually save you a lot of money, right? I have been in situations where, because a client asks a question, it end up bringing to light certain things that may have gone unnoticed, right? So for those of you who follow the channel, you know that whenever I go to a site, I take pictures and videos, right? Whenever I'm doing an inspection, I do drone shots, I do walkthrough, I take pictures, and I make notes of whatever is on the site. But one of the things that I make sure that I do is when I go back to my office and sit down, rest the brain, then I go back through those images, those videos, to pick up anything that the mind did not register on the site, right? So your concerns are valid. Don't make no contractor make you feel like say you can't ask no question. Don't make no contractor feel like say you can't double check their prices, or you can't double check their recommendation, because contractors will always recommend, because it is in their best interest. Hey Mario, big up yourself, big up yourself. Yeah, it's in their best interest to tell you to do stuff so that you can spend more money. So at the end of the day, they will make their recommendations, but you have to question them as well. You can't just get up and say, oh, the contractor knows best and him I'm a friend and him gonna recommend the best for me. Yes, he is recommending the best, but he's recommending the best with the understanding that you will pay for the best and you will pay that best price. So my advice is, don't just rely on the contractor, no matter even if I'm your friend. Don't just rely on it. Check, ask questions. And another thing is, make sure you have your contract in place. Everything is all fine and dandy when things are going great, but whenever things go wrong on construction site or wrong with construction contract, if you don't have nothing in writing, that's when, for lack of a better word, that's when the shit hits the fan. Right? So your concerns are usually valid, so get them addressed, right? Let's give the video some likes. That's Dr. D. Yeah, let's give the video some likes, guys. Come on. But yeah, that's when the shit hits the fan, because when everything is going great and there's no need to worry about anything, and you look past certain things, there's an instruction that somebody carried out without your consent, or they move something without your consent, and it's supposed to cost X and they charge Y, and you don't mind because it may seem like it is in your best interest. But when the money part come and them start charging for it, you're no longer on good terms, because somebody is not getting paid for something, right? That means that you should have had things in writing, right? And you didn't. So now there's bad blood. So take it from me. Check and make sure you have things in writing. Make sure you have a contract in place, because the moment things start going bad is when you're going to realize that, hey, shoot, I needed a contract to do this project. All right, it's better you have the contract in place and don't need it than you need the contract but it was never in place. Right? So as a returning resident, I want you to understand that. So what are other concerns though, other than substandard work and material? I think, you know what, I think this substandard work thing in Jamaica is very, prevalent. And yet still they still expect to get paid for it. Why do we complain that, hey, the Chinese are coming in Jamaica and taking over and doing work? I don't even know if they're doing substandard work or not, right? But we're complaining, but yet our own people are not doing an honest day's work, a good day's work, and then expect to get rewarded for it. Instead, you have a situation where people are trying to be cheeky. They chat a lot, you know, tell you how the work is going to look when it's finished, and tell you how the work is great and all of that, but yet still they're not doing the actual work. Right? I rather tell you, hey, you know, I'll do the work at this level and then overperform, and you come and say, wow, right? Rather than I tell you, say, yo, I can do it up here, so I'm gonna do it down here, and at the end of the day, you're disappointed because I didn't deliver properly, right? So this let us say substandard work is very prevalent, and you as a returning resident, the way that you can possibly fix this is have inspections done during construction when you're not here. Have somebody go there and check to see what's happening. Look, you know, get somebody who is a building professional, go to your site and look to see what's happening, and send you some pictures, send you some videos to make sure that your building is being constructed properly. All right. So I agree with the substandard work. I call it scamming, because at the end of the day, you're really a scam. You try to scam somebody. You're trying to pass off things for what they are not. You're telling somebody that, hey, they're getting this, and you give them something different, or you don't give them what you say you're going to give them. All right, so I call it scamming. Right? But anyways, that's just the precursor for today. I'm not gonna go over 30 minutes. I'm just spending this little time with you. I'm working on things, guys. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Share it with a friend. It does encourage me, guys. Sometimes I want to come on, but like, you know, the vibes, and to know if I was to have guys that are interactive and stuff like that, it would help. So, you know, your participation in the discussions does help, and it gives me insight as to what steps I can take to help you better. All right, so make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I make videos just like this one, and make sure you comment so that I can get feedback from you as to what you want and how I can help you. All right, so I'm gonna leave you now. Thanks for joining for the evening. All right, thanks for joining for the evening, guys. Nice little discussion. I hope you learned something from it. Remember, the number one thing that you need to do when you're doing construction in Jamaica: get a contract in place. Please get a contract. make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to deliver. Right? The contract will tell what is supposed to be delivered, when it is supposed to be delivered by, and the condition that is supposed to be delivered in. Everything is fine and dandy when things are going great. You don't need the contract when things are going great. It's when things go bad that you will need the contract in place. And because you relied on things going great in the beginning, when things does go bad and you don't have the contract, you wish you had the contract in place. So it's best to just start out with that contract in place. So you do your bill of quantities, you have your contractor, sign a contract, and you have your QS prepare that contract for the contractor to sign, right? You do an open tender or a closed tender in process. Everybody bid it. You select a contractor, you issue him with a contract documents, and you guys sign off and then start the construction. While construction is going, you make sure that you are inspecting, you make sure that during construction you have proper documentation during the construction. So every site visit you go to or you have done for you record it. The first day the site open, you record what the site look like, what everything around it look like. During construction, you record each. You have a folder for each site visit, for each document that you pay out on. You have a record of that. For every time something changes, you send an email to the contractor to make sure that you express exactly what you are expecting. It's easy to say something and somebody misunderstand what you say and interpret it to mean something else. I'm just telling you these things. It's easy for that to happen, right? So if I was to say to my wife, babe, I have 2 mangoes in the kitchen, right? I have 2 mangoes. One is ripe, one is green, and one is turned, right? I leave 1 week from here and come back, and I said, babe, the mango them were dead up on the fridge. Which part of them there? You say you had the mangoes in the kitchen. I thought you meant that it was mine. There is an assumption there, right? So when you rely only on verbal communication within construction, there's some amount of inference or assumption, right? So that's why you need to have a contract in place, and you need to follow up that contract with written communication, because once you write it, nobody can say this is what you mean or this is what you mean. Exactly what you write is exactly what you mean. Done. Alright? So thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing. Big up yourself. That should read Mr. and Mrs. AJAWI. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Guys, thanks for coming up. Dr. Lee, big up yourself. Mario Thompson, big up yourself. Who else is here? Anne-Marie Walker, big up yourself. I'm just looking through and seeing who is here. And of course, AJAWI family over here, big up yourself. Love you, my wife. Love you. Alright, guys. Oh, shoot. Next time I'm showing. Tomorrow I'm showing all my phone. Alright. See you tomorrow, guys. Big up yourself. Love y'all.